On EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Atlanta Falcons. All that and more coming up next.
First opened in 2017, there's a look at the beautiful state-of-the-art Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta, GA. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
The veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading him out is their rookie quarterback, the young man from the University of Michigan.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And here's Jones again on 2nd down. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
To the air with McCarthy. Pass complete to Addison. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Charles, that's a route that you and I have seen time and time again in our years up in this booth, and that executed well and a great throw, too.
And sometimes, even if you know it's coming, the execution will trump whatever you do on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, it was a well-thrown football. A nice, healthy gain right there.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. McCarthy off the play fake. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Throwing, Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up third down.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. That is caught. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down and then some. Give them 29 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Cousins. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
4th down, and the attention turns to Falcon kicker Younghoe Koo. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Koo knocks this one through the post, and the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Breaks through the contact. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. And the Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. 3rd and 8. Now McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Boy, did everything to hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Now 2nd and 5. Cousins now. Short throw caught by Pitts. And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons 1st down up near the 40-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta, 2nd quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the counter, this is Robinson. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7. They'll run again here with Robinson. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get 1st downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
3rd and 4. Cousins to throw it. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, the pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know. Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their 1st-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Throwing is McCarthy. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation.
I'm actually looking at this play with defensive eyes here, partner, because they were still laser focused on him after his earlier exploits on this drive. I think they went back to the well just a little bit too soon. He got across the line of scrimmage, but they certainly weren't giving up much more than that.
Here is third down and 4. Here's McCarthy. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The Falcons offense set to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Second down and 3. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Targeting picks on the out route, and he's got it complete. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before. To throw, Cousins. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action now. Cousins. There's Mooney with another catch. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Again, it's Cousins. Looking for the out route, and he's got more. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 11 yards there, just like last play. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Falcons offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Cousins throws right back to London, complete again. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but getting zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
In motion goes the tight end. From the gun, here's Cousins. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. Now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Caught by London. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
They go play action. Cousins. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Kyle Pitts, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again to Jones. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be Falcon football. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Here's a 2nd and 5. Now Cousins. Man open, that's Ray McCloud. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Play fake, Cousins. Looking deep here for Mooney. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown. Darnell Mooney, 57 yards. And the Falcons will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Well, they went play action there and set it up nicely for him. I mean, he can flat fly, and they hit him downfield.
And it doesn't take much to create that extra bit of space that a guy of his speed needs. If you go play action, all you want is just a moment where the guy's covering, take their attention somewhere else, and then he's by him. And once he's by him, there's no catching him. As they always like to say, if a receiver's even to a defensive back, that means he's leaving.
Unless that DB is Charles Davis, right?
In that case, he left me a long time ago.
Come on, yeah.
Trust me.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Back now in Atlanta. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big play here as they strike for 31.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. Now a first down carry by Jones. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. Robinson with another carry. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Cousins. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Here's Bradley Pinion now as he'll kick it away for the second time. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw McCarthy. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
They'll indeed go. Here's McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson, but they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On 3rd down, Robinson. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.